That's lit and savage.
Excellent connection. Bullshit. Dropping 80% of the frames. I think we're... Wait, how are we live? I didn't even do anything. Okay. I think we're live, but I didn't even set it. Oh my god. Okay, visibility. Public. I want you to watch. I want you to watch. My Morphin Power Rangers. Okay, yeah, everything we're saying is being recorded, so we'll just keep that in mind.
Look at this graph.
You already started coloring? Oh, Pat.
This isn't the green I thought it was.
Oh, it's not working because I'm not on your Wi-Fi. Whisper the password to me again. Lazy cow, something.
Wait. Is that it?
I thought there was a third number.
Try that. Hey, what do you know?
Look at this graph. Get me out of here. Why is it not working? Error.
Error, error, operator.
Bro.
Let's write an emo song while we're in here. It's called Error Operator. I think we've got an error here. It's coming through my nightmare. I've made an error here.
I guess we should probably do an Instagram story to say that we're live. And also, I imagine that questions might come in as we go.
Yeah, I imagine the same. You're reading my freaking mind.
Which is kind of why I was glad there's not a million. Although there is.
Although there are. My team Morphin Power Rangers. Going on down South Park, I wanna have myself a time. Friendly faces everywhere. Temptation. Look at this graph. So we're live, live.
I guess so, but I haven't shared it or anything, so I don't think anyone's on yet. Nor can I figure out how to check it on my phone or my iPad. Mommy, where's my iPad? I keep making jokes about how we need to get Jasper an iPad, and Megan does not think it's funny. Alright, can you hear anything? About how we need to get Jasper an iPad, and Megan does not think it's funny.
Too weird.
Check! Okay. Are you still playing? Oh my god, stop it. Look at the graph. How do you do the thing that I wanna do? Give me your compressors, motherfucker. Yeah. I need a compressor. Compress my grits. Compressor, motherfucker. Yeah. Check, 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 check. Check. 1, 2, hey, yeah. I have no idea what it sounds like, so people will need to.
How's the frame rate?
It's only dropping 30% of the frames, so. Ooh, let me get Audio Hijack running. just to give my computer more to handle, and you can hear about the fan I always talk about. Recordings. New session. Input device. I choose you. I'm gonna make this uncompressed Apple lossless. All right, check. Okay. Is anyone out there? It's like that dog meme where he has no idea what he's doing. But it me.
Where are we going to share the link?
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. I just sent out the wrong... Oh. The fuck? Wait, hold on. Okay, no, we're on.
Alright, we should put the link everywhere.
I did. Let me... It's pretty orange.
On Twitter?
Yeah. Why... Wait. Why isn't it letting me adjust? Why is it recording? I don't want it to record anything. Yeah, it's a little warm.
Jeremy just tweeted some funny... Somebody's been dubbing people freaking out online to like metal breakdowns, and it's pretty cool.
Nice. Okay, that might be better.
With a link share on...
We should probably... No one's really on our Instagram, though, right?
You never know.
You never know.
Could they click it if it's in a story?
I think we need way more followers.
What if I just did that?
Sure. But they can't click it. Should we just do like link in bio thing or whatever?
That would be a lot more.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, we're technically live. Okay. Audio hijack. Where is Chrome? It's lower than the recommended bitrate. Why is it running like shit? OBS, what are you doing, bud? Okay, I should have figured this out before we went live, but we're here. We're coloring. We've got knockoff Crayola pencils.
You can just give Crazy Art a shout out.
Crazy Art.
It's not a knockoff. If you're out there, Crazy Art, sponsor the show.
So we are coloring a super secret artwork thing while we answer some questions from the Patreon.
Tom's at my house. This is live from a home.
You got to pay extra for the address.
I wonder how much that would be. Like, my friends and I always used to joke about, like, how much would you need to pay? Because you can name a school after yourself. But how much would you need to pay to rename something like the School of Poop? Like, it would have to be a lot. So, there is no Patreon tier that allows you to come to this house yet.
Yeah. Right. But for $20 a month, we'll do anything. I think we were part of the secret project. We were talking about maybe giving out phone numbers for like a big thing, right?
Yeah.
There's something we're working on that Patreon supporters will know we've been talking about. Unfortunately, for like 6 months. It started back in March, and I thought it would have been done. Beginning of June was what we had talked about with the person. And it didn't happen, so we are nearing the end.
We're putting some TLC on it.
We're putting some TLC on it, but
the artist was giving us a deal. And
yes,
like we wanted to work with somebody who actually was a part of our scene growing up.
Yeah. So we brought in some of our hometown friends.
Had we given them like more than we were giving them,
right,
which would have been market whatever, then it would have been. Right. But it was really just a favor, so we were appreciative. Adrian's
here.
We waited until the Pacific Coasters could get off work.
For sure.
We love crazy art, don't we, folks? We do. It's there for you in a time of need. It's at the bottom of the pencil box of the shared classroom beneath the half-eaten crayons. At some point, we'll start answering the questions for this month's AMA. This is it. This is the AMA.
Yeah.
We should treat it as such, I suppose.
Yeah. It's looking like the connection's super choppy. We are recording audio separately for the Patreon. We don't know what we're doing with streaming, but we're going to go for it anyway. So Pat and I are going to color. We're going to answer some questions. And if there are more, leave them in the comments. First one, are the Clarks a big deal in other areas of the country or just Western Pennsylvania? No idea who the Clarks are.
Must be Western
Never heard of them. Have you?
We shouldn't have started with this question, Katie. The Pittsburgh contingency has thrown us through a loop. I've never heard of the Clarks, but I want to know them now. Off to a raucous start here.
At first, I was thinking like the movie Clerks. And I was like, what? I thought that was a big movie.
No,
I guess it's a big...
interesting. I think the real answer here is we haven't lived in Western PA since the stories we're telling you about on the show we do. So Tom and I have lived in Ohio and Colorado and New Mexico and North Carolina and Virginia, DC and Maryland. So we didn't live in Western PA. Well, I would assume the Clarks have been big or around. Also, another feature of our show is how we need other people to let us know where the good music is. So will we check out the Clarks immediately? Yes, but no, I don't think I've heard of them quite yet.
We only know Fall Out Boy and Yellow Cards. So
that's also true.
Yeah. Okay. Melissa is at an immersive Van Gogh exhibit, which honestly sounds way cooler than this, so she could make it. Has it surprised you how much variety is amongst the Reminasties as far as specific taste goes?
No. We actually just did our survey for the show.
Oh, God.
And we didn't get the same answer twice to any given question, which was beautiful in its own way.
It was beautiful, but like we did the survey to try to figure out where, like, what we're doing well. First of all, okay, so the video is choppy. Can you understand what we're saying at all? I don't know if the audio is also choppy. So we were hoping to get some clarity on what we should like double down on, if there's anything you don't like, but half the people liked one thing, the other half liked the other. So really all I got from it was anxiety that no matter what we do, half the people are going to not love it. So it was actually like a huge failed experiment.
No, it wasn't. We learned a lot.
Oh, gosh.
Adrian comments.
Okay, as long as the audio is good. Okay.
Adrian got married, but he says his proposal story is out of date. This is just for me, but I'd love for you to elaborate in the comments.
He got engaged, not married.
Engaged, right. He said his proposal story is out of date. Sorry, yes. I misspoke, but need the deets there, because he had let us know in our page.
Yeah, before it happened. That was pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was like, what's the vibe? And we're like, the vibes are strong.
We'll get there. So I honestly feel like there's not like a ton of... I don't know. I think everyone has much better taste than we do, is what I'm learning. Everyone's way cooler than us.
But also, there isn't that much variety. I mean, like, we always talk about the infighting where it's just kind of like you pick these little specific corners of the subgenre and everything and figure out a way to get mad at each other about it. But really, it is a very small circle. So I think like it doesn't surprise me that much. I think you guys are all more alike than you think. There's like some people who lean a little heavier than others in terms of the chugga chuggas and whatnot. But really, it's much more similar than it is different. I think I'd say that.
I also think it's just a selection bias of the people who are going to talk to us about music are talking to us about the music we're talking to. So, yeah, I don't know. If we were going to do a drag performance, what song would you do? We actually, for Halloween, which is around my wife's birthday, we had a drag part. So, like, most of her friends do drag, either drag kings or drag queens. So we had a drag party at my house, and I was in this fucking fabulous gold sequin dress that, like, my butt cheeks were hanging out of. Honestly, I felt beautiful. Had a wig and everything.
Also, if you haven't seen Tom's updated Twitter name, it is, quote, thick dumpy, end quote.
So I was going to... I actually, like, took the song Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne into Pro Tools and shortened it because I was going to perform a lip sync of it. However, I got nervous and didn't. So I think I would probably do Girlfriend by Avril Lavigne.
Trying to look up the song title. Thrash Unreal is what I would do, I think. I don't know if that's... it's just a good party end of the week. Weekend song. Good one to... Dancey but rocky and good. And I think it... yeah.
That's a good one.
I think it would fit. Also, I would pick that for baseball walk-up. I would pick that for any like game you could play where you had to pick a song to listen to. I just like to hear it. So it might be skewing my decision a little bit there.
Oh shit, I just took the phone I'm supposed to be looking at the questions at.
Oh, that's alright.
Quick top 3 albums released this year. Adrian would be...
Sob Rock.
Oh.
Sob Rock.
I would say Fuck Art.
Oh, that was this year?
It was January, I think.
Yes.
Gami Gang. And probably Gone Are the Good Days, but...
So we agree on 2 at least.
Right.
Wait, you might not agree on Sob Rock.
I haven't listened yet.
Well, the Sob Rock fandom got us into John Mayer's Instagram stories. You gotta love the Sob Rock.
Yes.
Fuck Art's pretty good.
That's incredible.
Gami Gang's number 1, I think, hands down. Yeah, obviously I'm not gonna try to poop on your parade or anything with the...
It's not recency bias for Gone Are the Good Days.
No, you're good. I mean... Yeah, it's a monster riff to open up the whole thing. It's a very good energy. I might go F Art, Sob Rock, and what was the other one?
Gami Gang?
Gami Gang and Sob Rock are the 2. But I could be swayed. I'd love to know what everyone else's are, just because, again, that's the point of the show, is us leeching off of the rest of the world for recommendations. Maybe the Clarks released an album this year that we should.
Oh, shit, yeah. Gami Gang, Fuck Art, Gone to the Good Days. But Grayscale just put out an album called Umbra today that I listened to twice on the way here. And it is so killer. So that, I don't know, that might weasel its way in. But the other 3 are front to backers for the most part. Adrian also says The Dirty Nil.
It's really good. It's so good.
So, what other D&D inspired drafts would you be willing to do? Katie thought the Desert Island album was a fun one. So how did that even come about? Well, we were going to do Desert Island, but there's a part of me that's really afraid to commit to it because when I try to come up with a top 10, I have a top 17, and I can't let go of 7. So when you were like, well, I'm trying to think of because you said in the first one, you can't just listen to pop punk the whole time. You need different emotions for different situations.
Well, that's how some might play the game, right? If you only have 5 records on an island, you might want to diversify. But you might say to that, why?
Right. Right. So then I just thought well, what if we came up with the situations that we would be listening to those songs in? and it was like 5 minutes before we hit record. And what you didn't hear that I took out of the episode was in the middle. I was like, hey, do you want to go 10? Because I have 7 situations. So then we did have to come up with 3 extra ones for the middle.
Oh yeah.
Because I didn't have like a celebrate the hunt in. It was just like you hunted and then it immediately turned to tragedy. So we threw a few more in.
Yeah.
But I think I would love to do like the motions of like your first high school dance or something.
Would it be a sequel to the story we already did?
I don't think so. No, I think like, it's like...
Well, then I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
I think like it's junior year of high school and like you would have picks where it's like, oh shit, like your number 1 pick was just, Dave already asked her and she said yes. So like, what's that? Or like you're trying to get the courage to do it. Because we were kind of oh, you broke the pencil.
That's all right.
We don't have a sharpener.
Art is a lie.
Oh no.
Nothing is real.
So we were working on like an Instagram challenge thing where we had 30 specific situations. What's a song that would go for that? And I think I forgot about it until just now, actually. But
yes,
it was kind of we just kind of.
What's more typical like movie stuff? We could do like a Fast and Furious album. Like, we're trapped in the Fast and Furious franchise, and we have to pick an album for every movie. I
would love to do more. That was the most fun I ever had recording an episode for sure, like without a doubt. My first thought though would
my
be
fear is like, were you guys more amused or did you enjoy? Because Tom and I had a lot of fun doing it, so my fear naturally becomes who would want to hear us like get into the mindset to fake hunt a beast on an island. But maybe it was a blast for everyone, and if that's the case, then I think we would definitely do it again.
Yeah, we're just constantly worried that you all actually hate us and you just hate listening to the show.
Well, hey.
Okay. Here's the question from Adrian. He's proposing to his girlfriend in 2 days. Now fiance, congratulations.
Oh, his questions are out of order in that sense. Gotcha.
Yeah, but he asked, how did we pop the question?
So that was a name. Okay. I thought, yeah, so we went out to dinner and we went out and then I got scared and then it ended up happening later when we got back home. But it was still pretty nice. Although I had some like champagne in the fridge that she had seen the day before. She's like, "Oh, what's this?" Because we don't like normally just have champagne in the fridge. And,
was it the good stuff or?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It was probably, I don't really even know. It was probably not from a gas station, I guess, which I've been there for sure. But yeah, it was like, oh, we've been having a tough week, maybe But I think she could. I don't know if she knew. I think she seemed surprised. But yeah, I didn't want to do it in public. I don't know. Some people, that's not to knock. Because you did more of a photo, but you were looking for a little privacy.
Dude, mine was like a fucking nightmare. So we had been together like 6 years before I proposed, and the day that I ordered the ring online, she started to get really impatient. Because I remember one time I was like boiling elbow macaroni, and I was just like stirring it, and she's like, "Are you ever going to ask me to marry you?" And it was literally the day after I ordered the ring. And I got, like, I didn't know what to say, so I turned around to, like, stir the noodles, and she said, "The noodles won't save you." And I was just like, I just
which is true. That's pretty good life advice.
But it was actually really frustrating, because, like, the ring came in, and then we had this, like, there were 2 months where people were just staying with us constantly. Like, her friend was here for a week, then her mom was here, then my sister was there. So I was hiding the ring in, like, the spare bedroom closet in, like, a box of screws. So, like, I already knew that she was upset that I wasn't proposing, but I already had the ring. And then when I finally did, I was like, "Babe, you want to go for a hike?" And she was like, "What's happening?" Because I always do anything I can to get out of going on hikes. So we were going to go to this mountain where she...
It is kind of weird suggesting to do stuff. Tom got married in Vermont, and I was asking I was like, little trips like, "Hey, we should go back to New Mexico to where we met sometime." And she'd be like, "I guess." I was like, "All right, not in a rush to do that." Noted. 10-4. And like, "Oh, we should go up to Montreal or something after Tom's wedding and just drive the 2 hours up and go visit." She's like, "Why?" we'd have to add so much time. It's like, oh, no reason.
Because you were planning on proposing.
Right. I was like basically like, oh, let's do something, try to take a big swing. And then it devolved from her being like, but there's only so hard you can push, I guess. It's like, I really think we should go do an extravagant trip. Yeah, I know. Or New Mexico or whatever, you know. Yeah. So you didn't want to push. Like, no, it's cool. I didn't really want to go. I just, you know. But it worked out. But yeah, it's kind of interesting because you kind of it has to be so. Although some people just know what's coming. It sounded like Megan was not exactly blindsided.
Well, she kind of was because like we tried to go to the top of this 14,000-foot mountain, and it was such a long drive there. And when we got there, it was closed for a bike race, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I don't know this area, so I kept trying to find other parking lots that were empty. And she's like, just go in that one. I'm like, no, I don't want to go in that one because there were like a bunch of cars there. The only parking lot I could find that didn't have a bunch of cars, we quickly realized why. It was just like a walk over a natural gas pipeline. So I was like, this is like the least romantic hike. But we ended up finding this big opening, and I like pretended like I was taking a photo, but I was taking a video.
Tom supports fracking is what he is afraid to tell you all right now.
Yep. So I pretended to take a photo. I was taking a video. And I got like super nervous, and like everything in my body was like, "Do not get on that knee." Like I thought that I would just wing it. Like I would come up with the right thing to say. And my friend even told me, "Don't try to wing it because it's gonna be awful." And I was like, "I love you." And she was like, "I love you too." And I was like,
were you on the knee at this point?
I really, really love you. No, I was just hugging her.
Oh.
And, like, the dog is barking because we had to, like, tie him to a post in order to, like, get the picture. And anyways, it was super awkward. And then when she said yes, I was like, are you sure? Because they just, like, who would say yes to this guy? But she did. Then the ring didn't fit, even though she gave me the size. But
it's a scary moment.
But
folks, it's a scary moment, isn't it?
I tweeted the photo because I was wearing a T-shirt from my favorite podcast. And then they ended up, like, retweeting it and talking about it on the show, and they have like over 1 million listeners and stuff, so it actually like turned into this weird like marketing thing. And then like I wore that shirt at the wedding.
You wanted to tweet.
But then I like, oh god, I keep doing that. Then I wore the shirt at the wedding, and like the host sent me like a congratulations card. It was actually pretty fucking awesome. But anyways, natural gas pipeline, fracking is bad. And that was that.
He loves it, folks. Folks, he loves it. I'm going to keep saying folks because Adrian kept saying folks. Hello to Katie. Katie in training is hanging out.
Katie! Fracking is not dope, depending on what you've heard. Frack is whack. Okay, next question.
One of us has to look up from coloring too.
Oh, also, so when we got engaged, we tried to like call the family to tell them, and not a single family member picked up. And then when we found out that we were pregnant, we called everyone and not a single person picked up. So it was just like a very isolating thing.
I'll just go fuck myself.
Okay, so Adrian, your proposal was better than ours. Would love to hear more about that. You had like photos and stuff. I think we might have seen it. Okay. Katie's been having crazy stress dreams lately. What are the weirdest dreams you remember? When I was
Adrian just commented, I feel like I nailed my proposal based on these stories. It's true.
So I remember I was a senior in high school, and I had a dream that I found $80,000, and I was just like,
if you said you went to see Las Vegas, I would have lost.
I had a dream I found $80,000, and I was like, I never have to worry about money again. Just like no understanding of how the world worked. And then when I woke up, I was so miserable. That sucked. I have a lot of dreams where I'm like making out with someone I come to in the middle of it, and then I'm like, wait, I'm married. I forgot. How am I supposed to tell my wife I was making out with someone and I forgot I was married? She'll never believe me. Those are like my big stress dreams, that I forget I'm in a relationship. Those suck really, really badly. But I feel like otherwise I have pretty normal dreams.
Other than the fact that all of them are sex dreams, it sounds like. I think you're hiding the headline here that you frequently have sex dreams.
No, not anymore. Not like I did when I was a teenager.
Oh, God. Just gonna keep my head down. Keep
not
coloring
acknowledge that one.
my pro-fracking.
What about you?
What's the question?
Sorry. Weird dreams.
Oh, like in general? What's the phrasing of the question again?
What are the weirdest dreams you remember? Oh, you know what? No, one more.
I died in a dream once.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did you die in real life?
I don't think so. Wow. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. No, it was, I was in high school. I don't know if it was stress or what, but there was like a school shooter in this dream, and we all tried to hide in a corner of the room, but I couldn't quite get into like out of view, and he just saw me and only me and didn't hesitate and just slowly raised it and killed me. But the dream didn't end there. Usually you wake up before you die. I went to purgatory, and all my classmates were at this like weird after prom thing where it was like this weird like part of the party where like it's 3 a.m. and no one's really having a good time anymore, but people haven't gone to bed yet, and everyone's ghosts were just kind of floating around this house at this like really sad house party. And I was like, damn, purgatory's a bummer.
Dude,
I was there in that part of the dream for like as much as the length of the dream. It was a strange time. You
just like brought up this repressed memory of, I had a dream that so actually this is really fucked up. So we went
to see Las Vegas.
We got to get off this question. We were like in the desert, and there was a random pool of water. It was all sand, and I remember looking up and seeing like a comet or a meteor like coming at the Earth. And in that moment in the dream, I looked up and like knew that I was gonna die, and I like put my arms out and just like welcomed it. And then I ended up in purgatory too, where it was this weird.
What did yours look like?
So it was like, think of like a skyscraper that's infinitely high, and I was in one of the top floors. It was like steel floors, steel cage walls, and I was looking for my dad. And there was you know those like rides at the mall where it's just like the horse that goes back and forth? There were a bunch of people on those with like no expressions, just like moving back and forth, and it was so scary to me. And I was just running around looking for my dad.
Nathan appreciates the fact that you think frack is whack. I think we all do. It's the real lesson of tonight, is that indeed it is.
If only Hillary could have been firm on that one, maybe she would have had a better chance. Anyways.
Let's see, what's the next one?
I remember a dream I had when I was 2 that my whole room was covered in blood. It was actually like 1.5 because my parents were still together, and that I remember seeing an apple core on the floor and it freaked me out. Then I looked up and there was blood everywhere.
Never good.
You can see them there too.
Oh, okay. I can't see either very well. I'll go get my glasses.
Hey, don't forget to smash that subscribe button.
Break your phone.
Okay, what would be your dream show to attend? 3 bands with an opener, a middle set, and the main attraction.
Well, hold on. Katie's saying her weird dream involved Leonardo DiCaprio trying to kill me.
Oh.
And giant dolphins were involved. And Jonah Hill was involved. So, this is the cast of The Wolf of Wall Street plus giant dolphins. And Katie was presumably with Matthew McConaughey on a dinghy in the water garden. It's hard to say. Adrian, curious like the rest of us, asking, was Jonah Hill trying to save you? She says no, he was Leo's lackey. So Leo in this situation had trained the giant dolphins to attack Katie. And Jonah Hill was complicit. Although Jonah Hill seems like a very sweet man. Also, Catch Me If You Can, my wife and I watched that the other night. Pretty rewatchable movie.
Okay. All right.
Just tossing that in.
Dream tour lineup. What 3 bands? What order?
I thought you get this one every month, and I'm not prepared for it.
I know.
Dream tour line. Honestly, this iteration, this summer's Hella Mega Tour, I've had such crazy FOMO.
Oh man.
What's interesting to me is so it wouldn't be too. I'll try to answer the question seriously there, but I've been thinking about this week. Weezer kind of like committing to the first band and just being a fun act for people, where Rivers has this like really dumb mullet and wearing these really sporty like Converse with like 80s. Yeah. And Brian Bell wearing like a tie. Like they're all just hanging out and having a good time and doing confetti and everything like that, and just kind of like committing to the bit. And Fall Out Boy's been bringing the house down and playing a bunch of stuff off Take This to Your Grave and everything like that.
Nice.
I think a few of our listeners have gone. I think Chris and Melissa maybe, and a few others. But yeah, I regret not getting that ticket, to be quite honest with you. So it would be, honestly, the Hella Mega Tour this year wouldn't be close from like an answer to this question on this show.
Yeah, I think it depends on like when, does it have to be like a band that would tour in its current iteration next week? Because like Tom era Blink would be obviously number one for me, but like if we want to keep the rules where it's like, well, Tom isn't in Blink anymore, so that's not an option.
Honestly, I don't know if American Idol used to do this. Part of my memory thinks they did. They would just tour with the winners for like a little bit after the season was over.
They did.
The Ruben Studdard Clay Aiken year.
Oh my god,
that would have been a fantastic night of music. That's my dream tour, is having gone to that. All my dream tours have happened. I just didn't go, which is, I think, not. I don't know what that says.
I think the story so far would definitely have to play. Maybe give me Stand Atlantic. I've seen all them though.
You like them almost as much.
Well, I don't like their new album though.
Too Skinny, Too Dipping.
God, I love Bonnie Fraser. Shit. I don't know. I can never get tired of the story so far. Maybe The Dangerous Summer. And give me...
My dream tour is if The Dangerous Summer and Starting Line went, and I couldn't tell who was playing throughout the entire evening because they sound exactly alike.
Not even close. I would like to see the Starting Line again, too, though. Maybe I'll say the Starting Line.
I like them both.
I'll say the Starting Line.
But
I don't know.
Watching Tom's blood boil when I compare this to bands is my favorite pastime.
Oh, I have a history with the Starting Line of blending things that didn't... I found out about the Starting Line and Ecstatic Lullaby at the same time. And for a while, I called, in my head, the Starting Line a static finish. I was like, that song bested me, but I think it's like a static finish. Okay, my phone keeps... Okay. You can leave other questions in the YouTube
or elaborate on the
well.
Wolf of Wall Street dolphin dream. Either way, we would be very grateful for either. All right, what's next?
If you had to create a dream team band from the scene by mixing and matching members from several bands to make one super band, who would you put it together? One frontman, singer, lead guitar, bass, and drummer. Give me... All right, hear me out.
Hear me out. You go first, I'll go second, and not use the ones you picked.
Give me Tom DeLonge from Angels and Airwaves.
Doing what?
Guitar and vocals.
Sure.
Give me Mark Hoppus from Plus 44 on bass and vocals, and give me Travis Barker from Machine Gun Kelly on drums. Is that cheating?
No. I'll take that as your answer. Give me Thaxton on drums.
Oh, hell yeah.
Motion City.
Tony.
Give me let's see. Let's go Max Bemis up front.
Ooh.
Thaxton on the drums. Give me Pete Wentz on bass for showmanship purposes, I suppose. And guitar? Actually,
Dragon Force guy.
Dragon Force guy. Yeah, Thaxton, Dragon Force guy. No, honestly, give me every member of any band that's ever been on a Fueled by Ramen ticket.
Ooh.
Or act together on the stage at once.
Oh, shit.
Basically what I'm asking for here is the Cobra Starship Bring It music video to just be on a stage existing as one. And in the middle of every single song, Travi gets to just have a spotlight on him where he just raps, and it's the most magnificent part of any given song.
I just realized I really messed up my drawing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Because this has to be blue, too. What the hell's wrong with me? What the hell's wrong with me?
You got problems, man.
Is there purple? Can I adjust? Smoky purple. Come out during the pod. The girl saying Atlantic keep Pat. Ooh, okay. So Adrian on YouTube. I didn't know I said it that loud. Do I often express my attraction to women? Bonnie's the best though. Okay, Pat. Who's your celebrity crush? Ooh, good thing your wife's not home.
Good question.
Rivers
Cuomo, probably. That's, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting question. Probably.
Oh, we know who it is.
Who?
You just mentioned it earlier.
Well, no, there's everyone, man. Everyone just seems very interesting. It depends what show I'm watching. I don't know, honestly. It'd be like
whoever's on screen.
Yeah, you can get into a show. You kind of fall in love with the character a little bit. You'd be like, yeah, all right, I'm messing with this friend group, this family, this town. I'm like, I could see myself living there. Yeah, it's an interesting question.
Okay. Oh, shit.
I'll try to think of a good answer, a funny answer. Honestly, it might be Ted Danson. I'm just joking.
If you were given a late night talk show, who would be the first guest you would want to interview, and what musical act would you want to end the show? Would you hate me if I said Tom DeLonge? Like, honestly, he would be like the dream interview for the show. I think if I could have a conversation with anyone in the world, it would hands down be Tom DeLonge. But is he like opening night material? Would you want him to be? Because like people are going. If this is cable television, people will be there for the first day. You need to keep people around to the fifth day. So maybe you don't stack. Everyone's going to be there anyways for the
fact
first
that
day.
You're even questioning whether he's big enough for the first show makes me question any fandom of yours.
No, I'm saying he might be too big for the first show. Because people are going to be there the first night regardless. So you want to keep people interested even on day 5, right?
I don't know.
So
I don't have a show. Let's see, the emo show, when we do it, who are we going to book first? Shane Drake, our old buddy.
Friend of the pod.
Hopefully. Maybe he would come at some point. Musical act would have to be... I'm envisioning like Pup having a second album by the time we have this show. So like
they have a second album.
Third album? A new album, whatever. So, or maybe a Pup's equivalent, or maybe even like the Dirty Nil has like, you know, a fun new trendy, somebody who can bring the thunder, who's well known enough to make the show cool, because I know Letterman and Conan always had like got props for bringing on musical acts that they respected or enjoyed or whatever. As far as like guests, I think like, does it have to be emo? Does the answer have to be emo necessarily? Honestly, I would do that thing where they have like at the end of a TV show they have the whole cast of like Mad Men out, and like Seth Meyers is like charming with all of them. But at the end of the Hella Mega Tour, it'd be interesting to see those groups of individuals chatting with each other. I'd have like, it would premiere right as the Hella Mega Tour was ending, and then like they would feature with Pup while Pup was playing some new song or something. Brian Bell would just be playing nice rhythm guitar and everything like that. So
like SNL when everyone's on the stage at the end, you would have like a...
No, I don't know. That's a bad answer. I would have Shania Twain.
Ooh!
Garth Brooks.
Ooh, friend of the pod.
Right?
Isn't it?
Florida and Georgia Line.
Ooh.
Actually, just Georgia Line. I think Florida Line has been canceled.
Really?
No, I don't know.
I didn't know.
I'm just trying to be silly. That's a tough question.
Okay. So Pat will not answer it.
Actually, Robert Smigel, I'd ask him to reprise his role as the insult comic dog. But really, I'm just remaking Conan's show. I don't know. How do you make it your own after somebody's done it so well? I don't know how to answer the question, and I'm spiraling, so we can move on.
The last question on here.
Brian, hello. Tom DeLonge could talk about aliens.
Hi.
Hey, hello. Yes.
We're live streaming. We're streamers now. How are you? Good. Last question now. What is the greatest piece of advice you've ever been given?
Give a fuck about a budget.
Ooh, really? Who said that? I need to hear that.
No, I'm joking and still being silly. I gotta answer these questions too. Let me read these while you...
I think there's been a few situations where, I don't know what, it was a podcast, and this is not like unique advice, like it hasn't been regurgitated 1,000 times, but something along the lines of like, if there's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, that means you have to do it. Because, like, people naturally fear change, which implies growth. So if you're uncomfortable, you need to do the thing. And that one of the situations where that I like when the 3 days I tried to be a vlogger, there was one of them was when we submitted Ron Carnage to the bookstore. I was trying to like pitch them on like having our book in the store, and I was nervous, and I finally just went up and did it, and they accepted it. No one bought it, obviously, because we weren't like marketing it or anything, but it felt awesome to, I don't know, like overcome the most minor of fears. But yeah, I don't know, embrace fear. If you feel uncomfortable at something, that means you're supposed to do it, kind of.
I think like loosely, and this is kind of maybe a combination of everything, but trying to focus. Man, colored pencils was a loud coloring device. But that's not to say anything bad about Crazy Art. This episode of Reminiscent brought to you by Crazy Art. That could be you, Crazy Art. I think
$500.
I was thinking about, I'd probably interview Chuck Klosterman and have Charlie Bliss on the show if I really had to think about it. Dream Team Band would probably be Thaxton. I think Haley would be out front. Maybe, obviously. But Kenny Vasoli would be around to do backup vocals and play his bass.
Oh, yeah.
And as far as guitarists go, best guitarist that pops into your head, 3, 2, 1.
Best guitarist?
Yeah.
I don't know any guitarist names. I don't know a single guitarist.
The guitarist and songwriter from the original lineup of Panic at the Disco would be around. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he would be there to bring, use the word testosterone somehow in a song.
Oh, this looks so bad.
Yeah. It's been a long time since either of us have colored. And yeah, the advice, focus on what you can control. How's the progress coming on Ron Carnage 2, says Nathan Eshelman.
The first draft is
we wrote
done.
it, to be honest.
Well, Pat wrote it. I'm supposed to have read it and offered suggestions, and I just straight up didn't. Sorry.
This is unresolved. Tom was reading up on fracking and getting super into it, and he's... which I was like, where the hell did this come from? Like, that's such an odd thing to avoid doing something we've been creating together for a little while. Also, it's so bad, objectively, for everybody. I'm just surprised that this is what you're choosing to ignore the Ron sequel. No, it's cool. They like, I don't know how many of you have read the first one, but everyone's back, but things aren't going great, and they have to go somewhere to do a thing, and then they have to come back and save the stuff. I don't know, typical hero's journey crap with weirdness.
Really selling it.
Well, it's not done.
J.K. Rowling, tell us about your first novel. I don't know.
It's like any other story. It's like things are away, something changes, they have to do a thing, and then there's a hero's journey, and then at the end, you reach the end of that circle. It's like literally any other fiction that's occurred.
Yeah, Ryan Ross, original guy.
Ryan Ross, Haley Williams, Tony Thaxton, and Kenny Vasoli on bass and backing vocals. It would be my answer to that question. It took me a minute. These are all really heavy questions. But yeah, Chuck Klosterman and Charlie Bliss in my talk show. That would be my farewell one. It would be one for me, though. It wouldn't be the opening night. I'd probably let the producers or whatever pick my opening week. Like Tom said, it's pretty important. You want to keep the viewers in.
That's all the questions. But
yeah, hit us up in the comments.
We're still coloring. Should we? I don't know. What do we do?
I tried to kill the character based off of Tom's dog.
Like the month that he passed away?
It was not. It was not. I put it in there just to see if he was reading instead of reading up on fracking. He was just like, oh, now you're reading when I kill your dog. And I didn't end up killing that character. But it's been a minute. But yeah, maybe we'll put it out someday.
I like to. Yeah, we're super busy with other...
Well, it's weird. It's like if you want to take your time to do a creative endeavor, do we write our emo show where the opening scene of the pilot is Tom having the interaction with that one dude that tried out for our band once, convincing Tom that he was more hardcore straight edge than him because he had broken edge and been a drunk for a few years and then come back off of it, which made him a little more... What was the phrasing he used?
He said, so my story's almost like a little bit better than yours.
Right, exactly. Which to me is inherently hilarious, and there's a bunch of scene stuff we talk about on the show that would just make for a decent... I don't know if you would do a Broad City thing where you made a bunch of emo shorts and... eventually it would become the emo show or whatever, but I'm not really joking about Subtle as a Brick either. I really would love to do that. I think it would be a good movie, the John Nolan story, and not even as a bit, just a story about John Nolan's life. I'd fucking watch it, and it wouldn't be funny. It would just be a story about him. But then there's a sillier movie where a band from here, Pennsylvania, and this is not just a ripoff of
That Thing You Do,
except that it totally is. Except we're defeating Dr. Hot Topic in the tower of corporate nothingness, and only we can bring him down with music and whatnot. So that one would be our version of Tenacious D and Big Destiny, essentially. So it wouldn't actually be that groundbreaking, but silly nonetheless. But yeah, I think that's all the questions we had. Let's see. Surprise question. Oh yeah, celebrity crush. I forgot. I danced right around that. I'm just going to Google famous individuals and then pick one.
Do we keep going? Do we just color in silence?
Let's see. You stretch while I think of who my celebrity crush would be.
My way.
Man, that's a good question. I feel like I've even had it, I don't know. Tom needs to produce the Prestige podcast miniseries about emo stories, to be honest.
The Prestige?
He's trying to start a network, but he needs ideas. No, he doesn't need ideas. He just needs 4 plucky, magic, worldly people, one missing a brain, one missing a heart, and one missing their shoes or whatever, to lead him to what he's known all along, which is the fact that he had it with him all along, which I think I'm mixing 3 different movies there, but...
Yeah, part of me wants to make, reminiscent, I don't know how many people know this, but Reminiscent Podcast was the flagship podcast of a network I kind of started in 2016. We eventually had 3 shows on the network, and we're going to start a 4th one. And I thought it was this brilliant business idea, but really what it was is I was just paying money to produce other people's podcasts for them, and they didn't do anything with it. So we eventually shut it down, but I still think there is a network in me somewhere, and I don't know if it's specifically music or whatever. Yeah, I want to start a network. I wish I had time to host 1,000 podcasts. Do you have your own... Actually, you know what? Okay, Nathan asks, do you have your own equivalent to Tom's sequin jacket? Anything that makes people stop and ask you about it? Right before we jumped on camera, you had to change your shirt because you realized you had worn it to the other 3 AMAs.
I've worn basically 2 shirts whenever we've done anything, and one is a Land's End, I guess flannel, that I've been wearing for years, and it's way too big. Sometimes mediums are smalls and larges are extra larges, I guess, which is everyone who's ever worn a size of anything would know that they're not always the same, but it feels like I'm somewhere in between the 2. Anyway, it's way too big. But then there's also this cutoff blue baseball tee that I think I've also worn on half these things. So, but no, not really. Tom, I think, in case you hadn't picked up on it, is a tad more flamboyant than I am. Or not even that, just more well-branded. He knows himself.
Well, yeah, that was just so first of all,
You also go to conferences and stuff, and that was you wanted to be a conversation. That's how we met Chris Lukey. Chris was like, I'm talking to this guy.
Oh, yeah, so yeah, I love Taylor Swift, and in the 1989 World Tour, she had this sequin jacket on. There was a night, when I get fixated on something, Pat knows this about me, I cannot sleep or eat or do anything until I find that thing. And I loved the jacket that she had, and I spent hours trying to figure out what it was. They had a men's version of it, and I justified buying it by saying it would be my branding for the podcast production. I ended up buying 3 of them, all that they had left, and they were so expensive, so expensive that I was just I have to wear it all the time. I can't be seen not wearing this. And then it turned into kind of clever branding where people at the conferences would be like, oh, I found the guy in the jacket. So then they would talk to me, and it was an icebreaker. But I'm at this point now where it's I kind of don't fucking want to wear it anymore. But it's expected, and I feel I really dug myself into a hole on that one. It's so hot. And all these conferences,
surprisingly,
all these conferences are in Orlando, Florida in August.
I don't even know if it's the sequins themselves that are trapping the heat, but it's got a little more weight to it than you'd expect.
It's really, really heavy. So, but yeah, you had mentioned your like cheap shoes that you were upset that was like blowing up. People were finding out about them.
I don't think they're blowing up. I was getting these Jazz original Sauconys for a minute because they were like the cheapest thing to like get delivered from Zappos or whatever. And then like 2 people had them on Instagram, and somebody at work was like, "Damn, nice shoes." I'm like, shit. Because if there's I don't know, it's like a threaded needle between like cost of it, what's the return on the investment in these shoes, which is a glimpse into how much of a weirdo Tom puts up with a lot, I guess, basically. But they have to be like, good for all the right reasons, which is why I don't want to answer some of these questions too quickly, because it's like, well, I'm not sure who I'd have on my fictional talk show. That doesn't matter at all for the comedic purposes of this particular YouTube live stream. But yeah, anyway, we'll call it the baseball tee, but not really.
Okay. I'm like half done with my. How you doing?
Are we showing people?
No.
Oh no!
We're not showing them shit.
Oh my god! What about that Russian? We showed them a gun in the first act, and we're not shooting it in the third act. That's like we would never make it as Russian playwrights. Not that I ever thought we could. Yeah,
I don't want to give away the coloring thing yet, because soon it will be the people's turn to color. So I don't want to give any false inspiration. I want to see what they come up with first. I don't want to barrel through it just to finish for the live stream. I probably will try to finish.
You're not going to show it to anybody anyway.
I know. Oh. I could just say I'm done. No one would be none the wiser.
This is interesting to watch Tom's psyche devolve into. He's not gonna show you what he's coloring. It doesn't matter.
But he really
did start going faster. This is an amazing development. He's even shading. He's not even really rushing. He's still shading things and going from color to color and everything like that.
Blazing!
Yes. It does say the word blazing on it. In one of the parts.
But we're not going to show you. I don't think you'd be able to see it anyway. Katie came for art.
She came for art. Let's give him a taste.
Oh my god. We gotta be quick. From Erie, PA.
That's true.
Should we be real quick? Wait, can they see through it? There's such a lag, I can't see what you're seeing. Our video is like 30 seconds behind.
Can they see that?
Too much!
Too much? That wasn't anything. I know.
I'm just picking up the picture now. It's all frozen anyway. Okay.
A little glimpse.
Okay. Well, that was fun. Should we do it live? Well, that's not like a Patreon exclusive. I think only the Patreon people are here anyway, so...
Mary Louise Parker.
Who's that?
She's in Weeds.
Okay.
I don't even know the show that well. I don't even like the show. But she was with the guy that played Russell Hammond in Almost Famous. But then they split and she wrote a book. And it was sad because they both seemed swell. But it must not have been able to work. So it was just kind of a sad situation. So I don't even know if that counts. But she seems nice.
Okay. We'll count it.
Sure.
I'll give it to you. Okay, well that might be it.
Billy Crudup is his name.
That might be it, unless people have more questions. So blurry, yeah. Good. You'll see it soon. We've got a lot of stuff to kind of. We've been holding on to a lot of stuff for a long time because it's just not done yet, but we're like slowly getting there. So we would never make it as Russian Playwrights is my favorite Chiodo song.
Yeah,
I want to start a band just to have great song titles.
And the emo show would have. We'd hire you all as writers to come up with terrific fake band names for local bands and everything like that. I'm telling you, the emo show.
The emo show.
Comedy Central or Adult Swim or whoever. Hit us up.
What would be some other bits you would have on there? Like things from our lives, so...
Oh, good question. I haven't written them yet, so I don't even know. I'm trying to think. What's the funniest? Well, I'll start with what's the funniest anecdotes from. I mean, there's probably an episode where we drive across the country to see somebody who doesn't want to see us at all. There's probably an episode where we do that, and end up at this college where the roommate's covering for the person. Like,
you really think she was there in the dorm, like hiding in the bathroom?
Oh, interesting. It's possible. It's possible, but let's see. Can you go over the survey results in a future video? I think.
Oh shit! We forgot. We were gonna.
Let's do it now.
Announce the winners. Fuck! I don't have them. I might need to export an Excel spreadsheet real quick on the fly.
Yeah, essentially, everyone was really nice. Everyone wanted more drafts, I think. But they weren't opposed to a good interview if it was a good interview. A lot of you liked the used in AFI, which I guess we knew. A lot of you were mostly... It was interesting. The mixed results were like, we like the music video ones because when I've seen it and I've appreciated it, I like the breakdown and maybe, it's enjoyable for us. But other people were like, hey, if it gets too specific, or let's say I think once we tried drafting an album. If they don't like that album, then that week's not for them. So it's kind of this balancing act between... Usually we... use the echo of like all of the social channels to kind of help influence. Like if one person makes an ask, we usually don't jump immediately, but I think you've noticed Buried Alive came to fruition and the used will at some point because more than several people were like, hey, this is really something you shouldn't ignore anymore. AFI was a similar one. But now that we haven't done the used specifically for this long, I'm tempted to just straight up not do it because gives me control over something in this goddamn life. No, I don't. No, we should do it. What's interesting is they have. It's not the Taste of Ink, the hit off the album that came later. Is very circusy in the way that Panic at the Disco's video for I Write Sins Not Tragedies is circusy. So there was like a weird circus emo thing for a minute that I think doesn't paint the used. Which all of our followers seem to agree that they're better than My Chemical Romance, which is really an insane realization we've come to since starting the show. And it's not that insane. I mean, like, MCR is great, but there's like this weird cult shit, which, as we've explored on the show, is probably only because people like them for the same reason people like Kiss. And when there's costumes, people just get really fucking excited. It feels like they're part of this club, maybe, or something like that. But the used is also not helped by the fact that they really only have that one YouTube algorithmable video. And it's very Panic at the Disco-y, so that's not even really who they were necessarily, I don't think. So that doesn't paint them in a very good light in terms of that like fantastical circus goth thing. It doesn't seem like they had too many videos off of that album that Taste of Ink was on where it showed them in any real measurable way. So I don't know, maybe like, the ultimate band that deserved more from the era perhaps. But what the hell were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough. I lost my train of thought.
I'm hand typing the name of everyone who filled this out into a random name picker.
Yes. Oh, so
I was not prepared.
We'll fire the gun in the third act, and by that I mean we'll at least announce a winner for the survey results stuff.
Yeah.
I think at some point we'll probably do stuff like Jimmy Eat World's The Middle, at least some of the OG emo stuff that is easily relatable. A lot of you listen more on Spotify than I thought.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because if you just search the name of a song, I'm assuming we would show up on at least some of them because we don't talk about, like, as we established on the show a long time ago, stuff that sold super well. So, yes. And we're learning anyway now. First episode you listened to, Click 5. God bless whoever joined us on the Click 5 episode and stuck around. Although that one was pretty fun. You know what my dream is? You know who my celebrity crush is? Anyone who's ever played a doofy principal in a high school movie or a high school music video, male or female, sign me up.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh! I gotta look it up.
So
Holly Hunter from Broadcast News and The Incredibles. What a delight. You know what I mean?
There was
to answer your question, Adrian.
There was someone that gave... So, like, first of all, we were like, have you left a review? And the answers were like, No, but I will ASAP. Yes, I have. And no, and I hate you. And like so many no and I hate yous came in. And I was like, how could they do this to us? But like we gave them the option. Very humbling. And we were like, what's your least favorite episode? And there were people that were like very honest about why. And I, after a twinge of sadness, really appreciated the honesty from some of the people who were honest about it. And what's funny is like people who said like their least favorite episode was other people's favorite type of episode, or some people really did not like our AFI episode because we didn't do them justice. Other people really liked it. So really what it gave me is a lot of anxiety that no matter what we do, people will or will not like it. So...
And finding a way to expand our reach without going into a topic we don't really know anything about and can't speak to is a tough needle to thread.
I don't know if they can hear you, but yes, we're trying to make everyone happy. We're trying to have fun, and it's hard to...
Also, if the Used didn't write so many songs that sounded exactly like Stained songs, then I think we'd have an easier time talking about them, if I'm being honest with
you. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people left very, very kind messages, like, anything else you want to add, a lot of really... things that were pretty heartwarming. So thank you to everyone that left nice comments about the show. That means a lot. Like, we've kind of mentioned, we did the show for 3 years and no one like listened at all for like pretty much the first two. And
for good reason.
But we still had a lot of fun. But we knew that it was not a good show. So to hear people...
the YouTube comments real quick.
Yeah. So to hear people saying that like they like it. No one I hate.
Adrian will fight me. How dare you?
Why won't you leave us a review, Nathan? Jesus.
Wow, fine. There's been a lot of comments. Okay, sorry, we clicked off to go to the survey real quick.
Common request results.
All that I've got, yes.
I caught fire. Oh, where did I fire?
Steampunk Top Hat fans unite. Couldn't agree more. I've always been a proponent of Steampunk Top Hat fans uniting. It's like how people see Bernie Sanders years ago sticking up for the same thing decade after decade. I, for years, have been pro Steampunk Top Hat fans united. And Adrian, I don't. Well, how dare I? I mean, how dare anyone really? Okay, so we're gonna do a drawing, I think. But Tom, tell the good people what they've won. Or are about to win.
Well, so this is where it gets difficult.
Also, it's going to be disappointing when there's a handful of people watching now, but there's a lot more people that filled it out. So if you're watching and expecting to win, I kind of hope it's somebody who is, so we can at least celebrate that little moment. So
the problem we're having is we're doing this huge art project. So what we're giving away is, well, the first thing is like a Zoom call with us.
Yeah. Like, obviously the resources at our disposal are limited. Otherwise we would have had Crayola colored pencils tonight, obviously. Goes without saying. But we do have our time to give. So yeah, I think just like a call, and I think we'd ask permission to record it and toss it in the Patreon and just like a meaningful.
But also we don't have to.
We don't have to. No, it's just like however they would want to spend that time.
And then
we feel the same way, Katie. We feel the same way.
And then a print of the thing we've been working on for months.
Yeah, you get a free print of the art project, which we took a picture and framed for ourselves because we were kind of loosely celebrating 100,000 downloads. I accidentally said 100,000 episodes earlier. That is not the case. It was interesting. We asked some of the metrics that I personally wanted to know what. Oh God, who was this? We asked for people who'd like to interview. JJ said he wants us to interview Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters. The Wonders are playing at Jarriett Park. It's called UPMC Park now in Erie, Pennsylvania.
The week after I'm going to be in Erie.
Right. They're playing like within the 10-day range of my actual first child being born. So I will not be there, but what a tremendous... I think they're doing it for charity. They're going to play and everything and sign some autographs.
Yeah.
It'll just be tremendous. But I would love to have any of the Oneaters on the show.
Mm-hmm.
it may go without saying.
Some of the other stuff, we asked, like, how many listeners you think we have, which I thought would be interesting, because for no real reason, we just haven't said at this point. So when we only had...
back when it was 20, we said it a lot, and then we made a conscious decision to stop and just pretend like we're trying to do well, which we are. And
should we say it now for the people?
I mean, it varies so much.
It does, yeah.
You know... I mean, there's no number that would make any sense, but like it's more. No,
it's all over the place.
It's more than 20, but it's not like we're not like going to be the third billionaire to fly to space or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's somewhere in between those two extremes.
Yeah.
But like at this point, Tom's not paying out of pocket to host the show, which is like
amazing.
Was the dream goal years ago, but always, of course, it's hard to be. But it's nice to celebrate 100,000 downloads.
Which was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but there's been bots throughout the years and stuff. So, like, we hit a threshold that we had set for ourselves that we felt like, okay, at least 100,000 of these would be.
Right, so, like, we hit 100,000 a few months ago, but we knew that, like, there were, like, at least 50,000 that were a bot. So we were kind of like, when we hit 200,000, we'll call it 100,000. So it's somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000. Who knows? But yeah, some more stuff, I guess, from the survey.
Also, my wife is tickled that Rem and Asti. I saw your comment, Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
We love all of you, but also love that you all talk to each other so much on Twitter. We seem to have a good time being like this tiny little scene community. It's legitimately heartwarming and a source of light in our lives.
Terrible existences.
The fact, I think my wife was like, when she came up with Rem and Asties, and I think Gabby was like, ew, I hate it immediately. But it's kind of, people have kind of, over time, it's stood the test of time and taken pride in it. I think she's really tickled by that.
J.K. Butts strikes again.
J.K. Butts, that's right.
Last few things.
Also, Adrian, you had mentioned once that, he's like, is your wife a weeb? I don't think that's the case, but there was a shocking amount of manga that she had acquired throughout her childhood that just was not hard. Like, I will say, for example, we were clearing out some space for the baby's room, and she was willing to part with it. It sold quickly, and there were boxes shipping out of this house. So a lot of tramps like us and things like that.
Oh, man. That's great. The last couple things from the survey were like, quite a few of you were like, the episode should be longer because I'm a greedy asshole. And then some of you were like, I really don't like the long episodes. So it's, no matter what we do.
Yeah, it's tough.
Whatever. It's just hard. But anyway, we have...
But a lot of the people that wrote, they listen every week. So, like, it's...
Yeah.
The people who do listen seem to like it in a very intimate way. And want to, come back and be a part of the whole experience.
Trying to make sure I got everyone in here. I don't want to leave anyone out. I really should have been more prepared for this. Okay, we're going to be... Let's see, how many names are there? Number of winners, let's say 3. Show, animation, show, amount of names. I think there should be... one person said they're not interested in prizes.
Who was that?
They said their name was not interested in prizes.
Gotcha.
I'm missing 3 people. Gotta make sure we get everyone. Oh, here they are at the top. Okay, hold on. The other thing I didn't think about is...
Interesting. Some of you have names that aren't your Twitter names. Like, for example, Tornado Shank. His name is just Shane.
We didn't know that.
He sent a really endearing DM on Twitter one day. He's like, hey, my name's just Shane, but like, well, he was just really nice about it. But
right.
Usually we use like the quoted Twitter name on purpose.
One thing I didn't think about is like, we didn't want to like overstep any boundaries, so we didn't like ask for people's emails. But what we ended up with is a list of people who we may or may not be able to get in contact with unless they like hear their name on the show. So we might come up with like, I don't know who, like I don't know personally some of these people, so I want to make sure. I don't know. Okay, so 3 winners. We're gonna make it so each the person at the top of the list can pick which thing they want, right? Or is this like...
Yeah, what are the 3 prizes again?
So the call, I think we're gonna do like the third place is like the sticker. Second place is the print.
No, whoever
plus
wins
third
gets
place.
to choose.
Right, so there's like 3 packages though. Like the phone call, the print, the sticker. Then there's the print, the sticker. Then there's like the stickers. So then whoever is top of the list.
Oh, you're saying somebody might not want the call?
Maybe. I don't want to be presumptuous.
We have stickers.
Okay, we're gonna pick a random name, and let me film it so we know we're not lying here. And we have from commentpicker.com. Oh my god! First place is Adrian Salazar.
There you go.
Second pick, Jess Isaacs. And third is Dylan Hayden.
There you go.
Who was on here, right? Was he on here?
Otherwise known as Dollar Tree Chris Pratt.
Dollar Tree Chris Pratt. Okay, so that's sick. Okay.
Have to check the YouTube comments there.
Right there.
Okay.
Pause episode 5. First day of school on Monday. Oh.
If
Wait.
it quacks like Jesus, Adrian. Mostly a studio Ghibli appreciator, but no, yeah, you're not wrong. But who among us? If you listen to the show, you also had a weird teen phase, so.
Yeah, congrats, Adrian. Dope. I'm so glad you're here. If it quacks like a weeb. Okay, yeah, so we just did a Mayday Parade episode, and it went like 103 minutes long. So long that Pat was burned out, and we had like a 3-minute post show.
Yeah, it was like,
I was trying to pull more out of him, and he was not having it. So when we started doing the podcast, they were like fucking 2.5 hours long of just rambling nonsense.
It was rough.
And chewing chips into the microphone.
Well, that was different. But
Oh, speaking of the dice.
they're not even dice. It's
There we go. It's wanting to get on your face. Oh wait, I can hit the screen. Yeah. I love them. Not regulation. Ooh, that's too much. Okay, well, congratulations everyone. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll do an audio-only version.
You know, we should engrave everyone's name into a bunch of dice and roll them. It would seem like a more
dice.
fair way to choose stuff. Now I realize why I never get to pick what I want during the class, because these are just wood with...
It's laser cut wood with a marble in the middle.
You sold it so well, but this is just like an art project from like a local art festival, which is fantastic. But in terms of like in Vegas, Tom would have had his fingers broken so many times by now, because this is not even close to right, and I will be filing a petition.
Oh god.
I think that's probably it though.
Yeah.
Cool. We have our winners.
That was awesome.
So we'll be Adrian, you can not want to talk to us, but you get first right of refusal. And then we'll just move from there.
All right, thanks everyone. Love you all so much as always. And what's next? What's coming out next week? Oh, I just edited it.
I can look. If you stretch,
oh,
I can
you've been tweeting our set list lately, which I have not agreed to. I'm not happy.
People like it. People like it
because it puts me in a spot where if I need to shuffle things around, I can't. But we're usually not 2 months.
I say this is what it's shaping up to look like. We are not committing to anything. Let's see.
Slow Down by the Academy is next.
Yeah.
So that episode's already in the can.
But we might try to rush the Less Than Romantics episode to come after that, maybe.
It's
either that or the drum draft after that, in theory. But we butchered the drum draft, so we might.
No, you did. I fucking nailed it.
All right, goodbye. I guess I'll just go fuck myself.